Widow of his own for the time being, but they got time to change.
Yeah, Mouse's Widow has definitely been a good story of a resurgence in hit scan talent. Mouse was a little bit underrated during our 2018 seasons, a little bit lacking when it came to the results. He was always going down to trials, but on Shoes Money Crew EU in the 2019 season, he's really been showing off his worth alongside Molfig and Obling. We'll be seeing what they're running out with. Hardy is actually a little bit of a specialist addition to Shoes Money Crew. They haven't benched Crocs. They're just bringing in Hardy for this particular matchup because they think he's a little bit better against Clockwork Vendetta and their comp. So you can expect to see Crocs back in next week. But for now, it's all going to be about Hardy and potentially a Wrecking Ball specialist who's good at disrupting Clockwork.
Look at all the angles they actually have to look at. They sent Mercy extremely low. Shoes Money Crew have got so many kind of avenues to attack, but Monk Martyr finds the head of Obling already. That's one flanker now down. They're going to put themselves on the point, which means a pretty easy cap. Point presence to Shoes Money Crew is pretty low. Monk Martyr gets jumped on the back line, knocked up in the air, didn't have the grapple, was taken out by Naga, but still, they're able to control the point and have a resurrection at their disposal as well. Oh, okay.
Now it's going to win out against Zander. That'll buy a little bit of space for Shoes Money Crew to move in.
That's a big nade, though. Moose is going extremely low. Can't use that breather. Finally goes unpurple. What do you call that, Harry, when you go unpurple? Was there a word for that?
Recover?
Recover from being purple. That'll do. Ricky's going to take a Hardy, yes. Nice flick shot from Mouse onto Monk Martyr. And now they're taking advantage of the limited angles Clockwork Vendetta can look at. Mouse is playing so far up, actually on the point. There's no one that can really deal with him because they have to deal with not only a Tracer, but a Sombra as well.
Yeah, when Scaripa dies, you're losing your solo healer on the Clockwork Vendetta composition. That means Mini-Me is particularly very vulnerable because a lot of other guys, they have the self-heals available or they'll be able to pick up health packs. But Mini-Me, he's got to hold down the point. He's got to hold down behind that shield. And when he's taking this poke damage, it becomes permanent damage. Scaripa's going to be able to move everyone forward. He's got that Valkyrie jaw, so that allows for a lot of damage.
EMP's available as well. You can farm Moose up. He was hacked. Obling's going to help Naga take him out. Pulse Bomb available for SMC as well. They can jump behind the shields and do so much damage. Nano Booster onto the Tracer as well. Pulse Bomb does land, but Fortify was there to resist some of that damage, and Moose actually gets resurrected as a Valkyrie was spot from Clockwork Vendetta. A nice anti-nade again from RB the Best. Helps Naga secure 2 kills. Still Shoes Money Crew controlling the point, Harry, as Clockwork Vendetta are just trying anything to make it work. This comp is so frustrating to play against if you're Clockwork. You've got to look at so many directions. The Mage's been hacked as well. Can't go in the Ice Block or use that Blizzard. And Obling was able to clean up the rest of them.
There's been some really high-value hacks here from Naga. Not a high-value blink from Obling, though. Evidently not seeing the ground-born dragons there from Zytor. But it seems like Clockwork Vendetta are going to have to try and take advantage of this pick rather quickly.
All right, Moose trying to solo kill Naga on the sidelines, but he's stuck in a hold hog. Nothing you can do there. Can't use that rebreather, can't cancel the ult either. However, Clockwork Vendetta do end up getting the cap, but now 2 people are dead. And Shoes Money Crew can move in. They don't really need Vows, honestly, especially when they got this EMP. They EMP the Orisa. She can't do all of anything really, but kept alive by the Mercy. She's so low, she's actually 1 hit away from going down. But that one last missed bullet from Naga means they can't follow up, and Scrib's going to be able to get back out alive.
Monk Martyr with a hero play again. He managed to take out both Mouse and RB the Best in the back, taking out both those supports with no damage drop-off. Means there's no long-range support. And that means Scaripa, he's fine to Guardian Angel away from that Tracer with 1 HP remaining. Couldn't hit that melee. And who's going to be able to clean that up? No one's going to be there. And there's too much control.
It went wide, Harry. You saw him melee. It was like, well, I've got him. And he just glided past the screen.
Full-on Matrix movement from the Mercy right there. Dredro would definitely be proud, and Nog's going to swap things up. He's on to the Pharah now. The Eye in the Sky can leave back that information.
Scaripa's going to come in again with the Valkyrie. He's not going to go down anytime soon. Everybody got halted together. An instant EMP as well. Now 90% for Clockwork Vendetta. Zytor's on the Doomfist as well to get back ASAP. I'm not sure Shoes Money Crew can actually touch. Gustav was the only one alive, but that's it. 99 would tick over to 100. And Clockwork Vendetta, after what was a rough beginning of that map, end up securing.
And Monk Martyr built up that EMP so fast as well. He got the 2 picks that I talked about, then he was able to farm off the remainder of Shoes Money Crew. And then you hit a 5-man EMP. There was potential there, but it was also combined with a halt from Mini-Me. So it was like, okay, drag everyone together, we'll get them all with the EMP. And because that's the kind of play we expect from Clockwork Vendetta, right? They're so used to Mini-Me being this top-tier Orisa, whether it's combining with Moose for a hook, combining with Zytor for a Dragon Strike, or in this case, with Monk Martyr for an EMP, we're looking for those Hulk combinations.
There's so many small combinations that you can do. You can also do it with Ricky as well. That Icicle, not the Icicle, but the left click on the melee weapon now penetrates through enemies. So if you pull them together, you hold left click, it's like a miniature Blizzard because people are slowed up as well when they get halted in.
Yeah, and when they're slowed, that makes it easier for Moose to hook them, right? There's so many synergies between the endemic effects
of these abilities. It's the ultimate comp, Harry. We didn't know it. but Clockwork Vendetta are bringing it in. They know exactly how to play. That's a nice little headshot from Obling. Monk Commander does end up getting rezzed. However, they're going to be able to control the shield wall fairly easily here, as Obling uses that Storm Arrow to break it fairly early. Yeah, nice headshot again, and actually ice block for Ricky just to get out of dodge rather quickly. He's going to get walled off though, but uses a wall of his own in more self-defense.
Neither team wants to give it a first cap here. Minime's going to take up position as McMurray. He demands attention, Jaws, but Mouse is going to be on the left-hand side. You can see his silhouette peeking in. I'll be the best. He's got to be the one to contest it, but Clockwork will get the cap.
Yes, they do. Minime's going to go fairly low, but now they can play around the shield. He's hopping forward, putting a little bit more pressure on the wrist from Shoes Money Crew. Hardy's not going to last long, although he does take out Moose. Actually, a second one as well. No one was healing the people on the bottom side, it seems like. Scripper's at least going to come in and find the resurrection, but now they just need to find the picks. Naga's going to end up going down. Gustav trying to go for the solo kill in the Valkyrieing form, but doesn't end up finding anything. Shoes Money Crew still fighting with Clockwork Vendetta for control of this point. I'll be the best jumps into the cube, and actually, so does Ricky to avoid that Dragon Strike. All this time, though, Clockwork Vendetta are still building up time, Harry, and it seems like Shoes Money Crew can't do all of anything. Blizzard's going to come through, but they still need to find their way onto the point.
Those are nasty shots coming through. We talked about Monk Marder and his Widowmaker. He adds the clutch factor for Clockwork Vendetta. Moose, I don't know if he wants to stay on this Wrecking Ball. May decide to go back on to the Roadhog after he maybe dies. He'll get away. That means Skaripa's going to have his Valkyrie for the next fight. And that's so important. It's such an improvement over Gustav, who's only halfway there, and Gustav's the only healing available. He needs to be giving attention to Naga. Look at how low he's falling. There's so much damage coming in, and the barrage is going to be imperative. He needs protection, but the only protection he can really get is maybe being behind Hardy's shield.
Really good pick from Mouse. They pop the Emphasize as well to make sure they know exactly where the Mercy is. However, Clockwork do end up finding the resurrection. Supercharger is going to come down as well, although the angle's not great. Beautiful headshot from Obling in the midair, in fact. That wasn't even a headshot, it was a body shot because of the Supercharger. Naga trying to get an angle now to Rocket Barrage straight on top of Ricky. He instantly gets evaporated. The Arista's going to fall down as well through the help of Shoes Money Crew's Arista, and now Naga does fall, yes, but the rest of Shoes Money Crew can make their way onto the point. Moose has dropped over to the Wrecking Ball to buy some more time. But it doesn't really matter at the end of it all, Harry. They could lose that fight. Clockwork, no. They only need 10% now to secure the map.
And crucially, George, they did it while not using the Valkyrie. Gustav still has that advantage. That means if these guys stick together, they can all be getting healed from a solo support, whereas Clockwork Vendetta, they don't have that. Moose can't heal himself anymore. He's on the Wrecking Ball, can't take a breather unless he's got a small, like, hamster-sized can to play from. He's losing health already. Skaripa needs to be on that unless he can pick up a health pack. Mini needs to get onto a point, but there's not so much urgency, Jaws. Shoes Money Crew at the moment, they're only sitting about 30%, and, well, they're moving into Mouse's Infrasites.
There's going to be the mines on the back line as well. Moose is going to get instantly killed. Momada cannot get past this wall. Dragon Strike as well to cut off a lot of Clockwork Vendetta. It does actually end up finding Obling in the end. I mean, now you're just looking at moving on the point, just rotate. Hardy is so low as well. A nice headshot from Zytor will take him out in the end. And Clockwork Vendetta slowly but surely making their way to the point. Zytor on a little bit of a hunting spree. He's going to try and find Mouse as well. Spots him out. With the shift, that easy cleanup is going to be taken care of, and now it's only Arbery the best. Throws in the Blizzard once again, but he is solo. Another Blizzard coming out from Ricky this time instead. A defensive one. Moses going to get locked up. Instantly being healed, though, by Skaripa, who has got the Valkyrie as well. And now the ball coming through from Hardy to try and stall from some additional time.
Arbery is doing so much right now. He's been able to keep this contested, and 75% is currently in favor of Shoes Money Crew, and they've almost got a barrage.
Yeah, 8% away, mate. They got to make this big. It has to happen. Nogara comes in, but he instantly goes down to Moose. The press Q to die button. Oh, it's a disaster. And Ricky's still stalling out the point as well. He is solo on the sidelines. The wall there to try and block him off, but Arbery the best doesn't quite land it. Shoes Money Crew are now building up percent though, Harry. They managed to flip the point, and with 95% on the board for them, it's only one more fight. Arbery's going to come in with a big kill onto Moose, and now he's trying to find the clutch. Kills Mouths, finds his way to the back line as well, and Zytor also falls. OT's ticking through. And I'll be the best, was able to wall off the rest of Vendetta and take them to Mecha Base.
I'll be the best has got to be the story here. His rotating of cooldowns was imperative. I never expected him to be such a good mate, but he was doing a really good job using the Blizzard to get everyone to back off, to control everyone when necessary. Then he used his Ice Block to actually save himself not only from damage to get self-healing, but also save himself from dying to the enemy Blizzard. In that case, Ricky maybe got a little bit arrogant. He thought, okay, you've used Blizzard, I'll use Blizzard as well, but it's only on a May.
That was such a messy fight as well. People popping holes left, right, and center. Like you said, 2 Blizzards were used, so everybody had to clear the
snow
point.
globe.
Skripper's like, fine, I'll just pop ult, fly out, no worries. Heal Moose is getting targeted down. So messy. But what these kind of comps entail, Harry? These oddball comps with the Orisa, the Mei, seeing a lot more of Monk Commander's Widow as well. Just kind of takes out Mouse and they end up trading with each other. It's almost like a mini battle within itself.
Well, Monk Commander going to forgo the Widow this time to go over onto the Sombra instead, potentially looking for a hack here onto Hardy. Remember, Naga here, he's going to be limited by those low ceilings, and Zaitor's more than happy to pick that up.
That's 2 dead already.
Easy shots all over the place. Monk Commander didn't even get the chance to build much towards an EMP right here because everyone was dead by the time he arrived. Choose Money Crew. They have backed off, haven't decided to make any changes to their comp. They're still going with that solo healer, quadruple DPS, and single tank. As Zaitor is trying to lock down this small path using spam. It's not one of the more common things we've seen in the recent year, but that spam can be so powerful.
Especially when destroying those shields. Naga's still on this Pharah. Hardy is trapped.
Thin.
Yeah, no way you're getting past that one, I'm afraid. Shield was still available. Oh, what a hook, though! I was going to say, it's great. Gustav gets the res, easy peasy. We move on forward. Not if you get hooked, though, straight after you get the res. Unfortunate. Choose Money Crew are going to have to go for the full reset. Does mean that Clockwork Vendetta, and like you were saying, this spam is so effective down these corridors, can build up ult so quickly.
What in the world? Someone just flew off to the left-hand side. There it is. It was actually Naga.
Hack.
Monk Commander doesn't want to catch another rocket. That would end his life. But Ricky deals 150 damage. Headshot with the icicle. Once again, Choose Money Crew are like, oh, I guess we can't take this fight. We're down a lot of DPS.
Guess we back off, boys.
Mouse is also going over onto the Sombra now. Doesn't want to take that Widowmaker because he's going through narrow chokes. He can't get the sight lines that make a Widowmaker so effective. And Moose and Minimi, they have so much pressure here, so much control.
Again, a beautiful hole coming through from Minimi. We're looking all the way back, it seems, Harry, to when London Spitfire ended up taking the Grand Championship in the Overwatch League, and what was the combo they used? Oh, Dragon Strike with the Orisa hole.
Yeah, just
perfect.
Just profit in gesture.
It's time to go back. Clockwork and Vendetta now have a lot of ults to use. They got EMP, they've got the Blizzard, they got all the toolkit, everything in the toolkit needed. 30% as well, Harry, before they end up climbing the map.
Yeah, and if they catch where Choose Money Crew come through here, Ricky can wolf them all in with the Blizzard. No, Paddy,
that is the worst situation possible to be in. If you're the Orisa, you can't fit through the single pillar. What I'm meaning to say, single pillar destroyed, you can't fit through. You're too chunky. It's impossible to do with it.
Too chunky with 4 thighs to get on through. The time's running out, though. 90% being detected right here. Who's going to pop up? It's a question. No one can really touch right now.
Naga gets insta-killed. One shot from Ricky will seal the deal, end his life. Moose did use the whole hog, I think. He's going to go fairly low as well. Hardy's going to come back onto the point, but gets instantly hacked. Obling finds one, but is it going to be enough? I'm not entirely sure it will, because look at that. Blizzard on the point, and now no one can touch. An EMP comes through, though, and Monk Commander did end up almost going down instantly, but it was actually the tanks that were the main focus for Choose Money Crew. They're still throwing more in, though. Naga finds the post-bomb kill into Monk Commander, but they have to throw everything in, Harry. It's his last fight territory for Clockwork Vendetta, and they're piling back onto the point.
It always gets so messy. Someone's got a touch. Right now, it's going to be the Genji.
Obling finally on his Genji pick, but instantly gets taken down. I know how much you wanted to play it, but that was not the time, unfortunately. Clockwork Vendetta end up securing Mecha Base and the map.
It was just too little too late when it came to Mecha Base draws. It kept going through that small choke, and Signal was like, Ricky's like, you doing this again? Okay, I'm just going to wall Hattie, and you guys are going to destroy.
It feels like solo queue all over again. It's just like, okay, let's attack this choke. We've got goats, we'll run through. They have a Mei. What if we just all speed through? Genius, we'll do that.
Then like Lucio's dead, or somehow the Moira that's been picked is dead. Like, why are you on Moira?
And they don't even have a Lucio, so you can't exactly speed through that and hope for the best, right?
Yeah, the comms need to be a bit cleaner when it comes to destroying those Mei pillars as well. They only have 400 HP, and they destroy the center one so quickly, because we can see Hattie just squeezing through. But
trying to.
Then they're like, which side do we attack? We've got to pick left or right, and apparently the call isn't there in time for Hattie to escape through.
Plus you have to do all that damage initially, right? And you're like, okay, focus, just try and get it through ASAP.
I just used Storm Arrow to break the middle one,
exactly.
So I don't know what you want from me.
It doesn't work. Clockwork Vendetta end up securing the first map. We're going to jump into a quick break, though. Do not go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back. Paris is going to be our assault map, and we did see Monk Martyr in for the first map on Busan. Engineers, famous Torbjorn, didn't grace us just yet, but Paris might be the place to do so.
Yeah, and I'm really excited as well to see Ricky here on Paris. We've seen a lot of May on the defense of Paris because it's so important as a mitigation for whole hook combinations, and those are going to be one of the primary things you worry about as a team when you are playing on this, because Orisa is so popular and Roadhog is so popular as well, because not only can you get the hook to secure picks, but also there's so much shield pressure coming out from that scrap gun. With a right click, you can deal some long-range damage onto the shields as well and have that higher rate of fire to get the poke in force for a healer to really have to split their attention. If you're looking at someone like Anna, Zenyatta, or Baptiste, that can be a little bit more difficult to do. And of course, putting a wall up in front of an incoming halt or behind an enemy halt can make sure that either the enemy cannot react in time or there won't be a hook coming through.
And one thing we've got to talk about with Clockwork Vendetta as well is that we shouldn't really be surprised anymore. It was a team that kind of dominated Trials, let's not beat around the bush, and they came into Contenders, it's like, wow, how are they going to compete with some of the best players currently in EU? It seems like a very, very tall order for them, especially going against teams like Angry Titans, Giganti, like the classics, the British Hurricane, etc. Then plus all the free agents that were roaming around before joining a lot of teams, like we see Shoes Money Crew, of course, Obling Mouse have been around for so long. And we all kind of wondered how they do. They're not now a team you have to mess with. You don't want to mess with, sorry. They are currently 2-1 in the standings after beating British Hurricane of all people last week. You cannot take these guys lightly anymore.
Yeah, not only that, they're no longer losing as much on the map 5s. That used to be their kryptonite, right? Like, okay, you can maybe take the first control. That's where Torbjorn was a bit weaker, but now they've sort of like fixed that issue. So like, well, we just won't play Torbjorn on the control maps. We'll just sub out Engineer and we'll put him in where he's at his most effective. When you think about where Torbjorn's at his most effective, I'm sure all of you in your comp games have thought, okay, I think it might well be Paris. You can see him hammering away those railings right there. Shoes Money Crew, they're going to have a lot of shield break between Obling and Naga on the double projectile picks, as well as I'll be the best. An attempted exchange of snipes right there means Monk Martyr's going to be low on health and put on notice early.
It's pretty easy as well if you're Monk Martyr in that situation. I guess same with Mouse, because there's no re-entry for the Widowmaker at that point. You can't guard the body or anything. It just burns the res at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think they could have been a little bit more cautious with that, though. Using an Immortality field out of spawn doesn't really cost much to swap off Baptiste. Engineer's turret's going to go straight down. And Monk Martyr now, he needs to try and find a new position, a new angle from which to harass Shoes Money Crew. You can see not a huge amount of pressures going onto Huddy's shield.
Not entirely sure who got hooked there. I think the hook actually disconnected somehow. Ricky ends up going down first, though. This is a bad position for Moose to be in as well. He actually gets walled off. He used the breather already, and Huddy actually finds 2 kills. Monk Martyr's going to go low in the background as well. Shoes Money Crew playing the ground fire at the moment. Another wall's going to come through, but the thing is, Harry, Huddy was able to get vision of his healer through that small gap in the wall, and he ended up staying alive. Monk Martyr ends up finding Mouse, but is this pick actually going to mean a whole bunch, Harry? Shoes Money Crew slowly but surely moving their way up.
And they've got the res as well. Mouse is once again going to be checking Monk Martyr and Engineers. Now that's a huge amount of DPS gone. This may well be over here for Clockwork Vendetta, barring a massive clutch.
Monk Martyr's on the worst position possible as well. He eventually gets healed up. Moose is back on the ball, in fact, just to get back to the point in time, but instantly he falls extremely low. I'll be the best is 20% away from that Blizzard 2, and Mouse has found his man in Monk Martyr. Obling is going to be able to check the May in the front line. Some beautiful walls coming out from both sides right now, but slowly but surely, like I said, Shoes Money Crew wandering on in. They push the shield up. Dragons are going to come out as well. A Mouse just clicking heads.
Zaito went in with a Valkyrie, thinking he could be the aggressive Mercy and really overwhelm Mouse, but the melee, definitely one of the more reliable tools when you're up against a low health Mercy. I don't agree with Obling's use here of the Dragon Strike, though. That can be so useful, Jaws, to either ferry your team onto a point, put them next to that statue where they've got physical cover, and it can force positioning. But Shoes Money Crew, they've got a whole lot of other ultimates as well. That Supercharger will mean that Obling can get that Dragon Strike back very quickly, especially if he combines it with the Storm Arrows. And it also means, Mini-Me, he's got 900 HP on this shield, and that is not going to last long at all against the additional damage. Naga got the Barrage. Very useful for delivering quick burst damage, especially if it can be used in a place where Gustav can guarantee a resurrection. Huddy needs to buy that space, and Gustav's going to be paying for it with a Valkyrie.
Very early pop of the Valkyrie there coming through from Shoes Money Crew. Are they going to be able to make use of this? Supercharger has gone down from Mini-Me as well on Clockwork, so that instantly means Shoes have to back out. What a shot!
Supercharge.
Oh, man. I didn't even know what was coming. He does get resurrected, of course, but again, Shoes Money Crew delayed. not used any more of their ultimates. There is the supercharger now coming through from Shoes. Now they can move forward. Blizzard Barrage still available. Mini-Me taking a whole bunch of damage, but Shield should be up momentarily. Blizzard's going to come in as well as that Halt. The combination we were speaking about, Harry, bringing everybody in. Ricky now terrorizing the back line. Gave enough space as well to Zaitor to resurrect his main tank. And now Clockwork Vendetta with priority spawn positions are going to be able to clean out the rest of Shoes' money crew. Moose coming back on the hog to find 2 picks to clean the rest of the fight off.
No. Stagger, no. They wanted Zaitor to get revenge.
A little bit of revenge, yeah, from the Mouse melee kill earlier.
That was messy there from both teams. It was trading kind of evenly for a while after that Blizzard, but trading evenly doesn't win you an assault map, Jaws, because for spawns so close to the defending team, you need that clean wipe if you want to get any progress on that point. Let's take stock of the time bank. 4 minutes and 20 seconds is what we're going to have available for themselves as Engineer, as readied with a Molten Core. He's one of the best practitioners of this ultimate we've seen in Overwatch. He's so good at making sure that it just covers an entire point, but like, how does he get this much area coverage with the ultimate? It's honestly astounding. I want to see it combined with the use of a Halt again. Mini-Me's already throwing one of those out, and Engineer's going to lose his turret.
Oh, another worst Halt in the world. Did force out the shift coming out from Hadi, but Engineer finds one, so does Moose. Uh-oh, Naga's going to instantly go down. There you go, press Q to die button, instantly used. Can imagine Naga's going to switch over here.
Zaitor's going for him again.
Oh, he's going. Mouse, run! Run! Oh, please! For the love of God, someone save him. Oh, he gets him with the pistol. Oh, disaster strikes.
I like how Engineer's also flanking around, presumably to give Zaitor a lift. That's what we'll call it, rather than Engineer just stomping around his grounds. He didn't actually use the Molten Core in that push as well, which is super interesting, meaning that Shoes Money Crew, when they move on to a point the next time, are going to be very much denied a huge amount of area by the high damage Molten Core can provide. When you are a static composition like that Orisa, it's very hard to move away from Molten Core, because that means moving out of your shield, Jaws. And when you move out of your shield, Monk Marder is going to be more than able to hit those headshots. The same with Ricky. They're going around the outside here. It's going to mean that they aren't taking as much poke on the entrance. There's a lot more physical cover in the way, but Hardy still needs to be careful.
Oh, that hook onto Mouse. Yeah, that'll do. Resurrection's still come through, Harry. It's not done just... And he rezzed on the other side of the wall. And he gets hooked again. Well, there it is. And it looks like oh, man. If you're Mouse in that situation, you're like, please delete the wall. Please.
I got to PayPal Moose $10 so that he can pay for a B-tag change.
Gustav's going to get chased. Oh, no. Okay, so they're just going to get mad staggered and leaves more time for Clockwork now to set up for the next fight. Earn a few more ults for themselves. And this time bank, not looking so healthy now. There goes Naga.
Time's ticking. Headshot there from Monkmada is going to be ready with that Dragon Strike. And this is so effective, like we talked about before. When these players are coming through these tight chokes, that's the only way to approach Parish. You can't go over the top of the building and just land in the center. You've got to use those Dragon Strikes to buy yourself space at all points. And Zaitor and Gustav are going to be looking to exchange these Valkyries. They're so important. The healing that they provide can mean that you can brawl out a fight where otherwise you may fall down. And you're going to need that additional healing if you encroach on Engineer's territory because of Molten Core. It's going to do so much. Shoes Many Crew decide to go for high ground here, and that's a good wall to block the incoming hook. They pop the Valkyrie in response.
Dragon Strike's going to come forward as well. Moose is looking a bit feisty right now, looking to go for a big flank. The Moose is loose, but doesn't end up landing that hook. Now he has to back off from Monkmada, who's able to go in. That's going to be a Halt as well. You can see it on the assist on the kill feed. Monkmada is going to be there with his Orisa. And now Moose is just on the back line. Nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. Gustav's going to go down as well and choose Money Crew. They're going to have to go for another attack. This is the combos we were talking about, Harry. Problem is, guess what you're running into? Well, about 5 ults from Clockwork Vendetta with a minute to spare as well.
That's the advantage on the Valkyrie again right here. Zaitor didn't even pop it. They're just like, oh, Moose, okay, you're just going to go into a back. And it seems like Clockwork Vendetta, they have this rotation, Jaws. Who's going to go into a back this time? Is it Engineer? Is it Monkmada? Is it Ricky? Is it Moose? Maybe Zaitor's going to go in the back and try and get a 1v1 with Mouse with the Valkyrie. That seems to be the go-to play right now. And why not? If you can tilt the enemy hit scan DPS off the center of the earth, put them in full Australian angles, then maybe they aren't going to be so effective for the remainder of the series either.
Molten Core's available from Engineer as well. The turret's going to take out Naga. Gustav can still go for the res. You see they use the wall to make sure he does get back up alive. Moose is trying to go for a little bit of spicy and a beautiful wall on the stairs. No one can get through. Moose executes Hadi. And that'll be it, really. Clockwork Vendetta so have to stall out for another, 40 seconds? They still got ults to spare. The ult management from ZV is so good. Shoes Money Crew can't do anything. As soon as one member gets picked, that's it. it's all over.
They had about 6 minutes moving into Paris Point B, but that has quickly disintegrated into only 20 seconds. The next fight has to be their last. The Mukmada, he's covering every angle right here. An early pick could mean that Shoes Money Crew won't cap a single tick on the second point here of Paris. They're running into so much. Engineer, he still hasn't used his Molten Core. He hasn't felt the danger.
The hole's going to come through. Mouse on the flank this time around. Manages to find 2. Zytor's going to go down. The Blizzard's going to come through from Ricky and from I'll Be the Best. Naga's going to come in with a barrage and hit multiple people. Oh, Mouse, it was so good. The flank, this is what they needed to do. OT's now ticking through. They're trying to get back onto the point, but now it's all easy for Shoes Money Crew. They can set up behind the Erasure shield.
And Mouse can lock them all down. He knows where everyone's coming from. He's got the infra sights.
There's no way you're going to survive that. Engineer comes back on the Doom Fist. Clockwork Vendetta, they need to find one pick to try and snowball this one out. But Mouse is so safe behind these shields.
Naga's
they haven't
back.
Secured a tick just yet, though.
On the Reaper.
Ricky is still stalling out somehow. He eventually ends up going down. There will be a Genji coming through from Zytor also. Moose dies on the unkillable hero. Don't ask me how, he just does. In fact, Naga's on it now as well. Comes back on a Reaper his own. Another Blizzard comes through. Mini-Me still stalling, but it's really all over. No way Clockwork Vendetta come back from this one.
Well, it was done in overtime. That's the good news for Clockwork Vendetta. If they can complete this map with more than a minute in the time bank draws, they are guaranteed for draw. So if they want to win this, Shoes Money Crew, they've got to hold at any point, of course, in Paris. That will bring us to 1-1 moving into the half. And, well, you could tell that Mouse was channeling his anger there. He really harnessed the dark side. And he did that because he got hooked twice. He was raised in front of a wall, and then Zytor just goes, okay.
Mine now.
You are mine. You, come here.
Now, Shoes Money Crew decided to, play Moose at his own game, right? That perfect 2 picks from Mouse. And you spoke about it at the very start of the series, and Mouse has been a little bit of an underrated player. He's been ferrying around kind of mid-pack of contenders for a little while. His Widowmaker is so scary, and he's actually going fairly even with Monk Marder as well when he's been on the Widowmaker himself.
And Mouse is also one of the few players in the EU who is very much land tested. He goes to often the lands we have locally in the UK, the Insomnia lands, and he's often the champion at them with the BYOC sort of like competitions. And that means that he doesn't really choke as much under pressure. And newer players can do that, but Mouse is definitely an esteemed veteran. And Shoes Money Crew had a bit of a different approach around that final attack. They actually split up their angles. It had been a while since they tried to generate that crossfire. They're all just walking through the same way, meaning that everyone was going to get caught in that hole, and Moose could easily try and take them out. But this time they had Mouse going on his own. He was Secret Agent the Mouse. On the left-hand side, gets the 2 picks, and that means, guess what? The other 5 members of Shoes Money Crew, they don't have a care in the world. We're like, okay, this is our fight now. We can just move on in. We'll loll up onto the point.
It's the problem with the Solar Mercy healing. So as soon as it goes down, it's pretty much dead. Yeah, there's not much you can do. A lot of people self-sustainable, though. On Hog, for example, obviously Engineer as well can pop that overload to make him a little bit more tough to take down, but it's really all about the healing, and like something you also mentioned earlier was that damage is permanent after she goes down.
Yeah, Naga here's going to have a lot of cover for himself up in the air, and it's going to be very hard to take him out without some hit scan damage. Monk Marder's going to be the one who has to try and do it, along with Ricky. Moose could try for a hook potentially, but no chance if Oberlin's going to execute you.
Yikes. He got pulled up, and about 3,000 damage went into him via those bombs. Oberlin's going to take another one too. Yes. Yeah, Mini-Me's dead, Engineer's gone, and now you're just feeding ult charge, unfortunately. Unless you can kind of regroup in this corner, but there's so much spam coming through from Shoes Money Crew.
Good evasion right there, using that concussive blast to take him away from the hole after it pulls him on in. Naga's almost got the barrage already. That could be a huge issue to deal with for Clockwork Vendetta, who are nowhere close to anything.
Look how close Mouse is playing to their comp. They know Moose isn't there, so he can't get hooked again. Exactly. He knows what's good.
Using the Widow's Bite to its fullest effect. Naga, biding his time for now, wants to try and find the perfect insertion for himself. He's seen
the hook!
That's an insertion.
Oh, 25 HP! Oh, he's dead! Oh, Moose gets the initial pick. Oh, he's so good. Moose now is going to get walled off and instantly killed off, and I'll be the best. Is going to help Mouse find another one too. Zytor falls, and Naga gets resurrected in the middle of this as well. He may have gone down again, yes, with no res, but Clockwork Vendetta, their entire comp is now kind of falling apart. Well, not until Marder has something to say about it. He finds 2 kills of his own, in fact.
I remember Mouse and Naga are going to take time to get back. We don't want to swap off onto faster heroes because they have the ultimates available. Mouse is going to pop the infrasites from the back, meaning the rest of Shoes Money Crew who are here know exactly where Clockwork Vendetta are going to be, and they'll try and use a supercharge to ward people away with this charge.
Out. There's the Blizzard as well. Monk Marder's going to be more than safe on the sidelines. Moose finds the good pick onto I'll be the best. Now he can't be res. The hook brings the body down, so you're going to have to put yourself in a very dangerous situation in order to go find it. Mangmada actually gets res on the side of Clockwork Vendetta. Obling's tie here is going to have to be pretty big. Go for the Mercy, and you might be able to secure this point. Obling's tie gets instantly killed, though. Moose one-shots the tire, walks straight to the point like nothing happened.
I don't even know if that was a fluke or not, but Clockwork Vendetta right now have control of the point, and they've got a Dragon Strike to try and hold it down. Naga's got to be a hero here if it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen. Obling's going to die to the hands of Engineer. It wasn't a hook kill, but it's as good as anything. A melee kill onto Obling secures his life. That ball's storing out for a little bit more time, but again, a lot of ult charge being kind of fed over to Clockwork Vendetta for this next push. They've got 5 minutes and 29 seconds. Well, 4 minutes and 29 seconds if they want to finish with over a minute.
Yeah, 5 minutes in the time bank, 5 ultimates online. Ricky, the only one who's going to be missing it, but Blizzard was used in the previous fight. We're up against only one Jaws. It's going to be Naga with that barrage. He's so easy to take out for Monkmada, but Monkmada's already down. See if we can get the res here. Zytel may be in a sticky situation, but no. 30-second cooldown has now been used. For now, any deaths are permanent on the side.
Moose is on the flank, boys. He's on the flank. He's been checked, yes, but he's waiting for the rest of his team to engage before he tries anything sneaky.
Lucy Moosey, baby. Lucy Moosey. Molten Core onto a point. Going to drive people off, and here they can move onto a point themselves and claim that space.
Supercharger's going to come out. They're trying to focus Gustav in the air, but he's going to hide behind that statue. Naga is still up there with the... Oh, he presses Q, and he doesn't die this time. Not before he gets a lot of damage off anyway. Oh, be the best is able to pick off 2 people in the back with a couple of right clicks. Moose and Engineer fall. And that was Shoes Money Crew defending with a single ult. Clockwork Vendetta used a lot in there. They used not only Molten Core, they used Supercharger and the Valkyrie.
I'm going to give Naga the credit there that I think he was waiting to see Moose's reload to make sure that the damage couldn't come out instantaneously onto him, deal a lot of damage, meaning that everyone else could easily try and pick that up. Mouse has Infrasights active for about a few more seconds. Let's try and get an early pick, because when you do that, you can burn down the time bank. The Clockwork Vendetta are going to need to try and preserve. They need that minute like we talked about. 3 minutes is their guaranteed draw condition to cap this point. Monkmada has the Dragon Strike. It's going to be super important. It forces a positioning, which we've talked about before, but if he gets caught out here by Mouse, it could be the end of all things. He doesn't have enough health to tank another body shot, and Mouse is playing these angles so aggressively. He knows no one can challenge him, Jaws.
Only a long-range arrow would really seal the deal. Monkmada's going to use that Dragon Strike. It's going to go through the shield, make sure Shoes Money Crew have to scatter. Moose on the flank once again has got the whole hog. Monkmada's been checked here consistently by Mouse. He has to play a little bit more scared. Widow ends your life rather quickly. So does Hanzo, though, who can kind of flick shot around the wall. Miles is going to go down, though. Naga's in trouble as well. Monkmada's found 2, and now he can guard the bodies. No resurrection can come through from Gustav. He's parked the ult, yes, but he's actually going back in. A blizzard to separate the entire team. And actually, Gustav manages to find the clutch res in the end. But a blizzard's coming through from Clockwork Vendetta to try and clean this fight up. They need to get on it. 2% now available. The tie's going to go down again. Engineer's going to check it this time. And Monkmada comes up big on the final push. And Clockwork Vendetta have more than a minute in their time bank to get 33% and net the match point, Harry.
It'll be 3 to be precise. What a great kill so many times on the Riptire. They're just not getting any value, unfortunately, for Obling.
It's too much to check it.
Moose just, I don't know what happened with the first one. He just like sort of was like, oh, I'm going to click M1. And it just, all of the scrap. Is like, oh, cool. Don't worry, guys. I saved us all. I will now be accepting PayPal donations.
I think, to be fair, he's probably not going to go instantly down to the Riptire. He's probably going to use a breather, right? So
yeah,
he would have tanked it regardless.
Yeah, he would be able to potentially tank that. Does 600 damage. He doesn't have any armor. If it's right on him, he will die. But if he's using Take a Breather, obviously 50% damage reduction.
We know he's too good for that, though.
Yeah,
he'll just shoot it.
Moose has got for reactions. And Clockwork Vendetta, Monkmada, he is being so impressive. And he's really been a standout player for Clockwork Vendetta. We've always thought, coming into this particular, towards this particular season, we're just going to be talking about Engineer, right? He's like a specialist on Torbjorn. That's pretty impressive, and he's making it work in competitive. But Monkmada's really captured the imagination of a lot of people. Of course, if you want to get to know him as well, our colleague Blank's done an interview. You can find that on his Twitter, so you can find out all about this player, learn about the story of Clockwork Vendetta, which the world has really taken a huge interest in, Jaws.
And a huge liking to as well. Some of their social media is pretty stellar also. Some of them come up with new skins. I did see like the Engineer skin where he's got like a purple hood with the gold trimming. It looked so sick.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Shoes Money Crew, they're going to have to try and defend here for 3 minutes. They want to play for that draw and then only be moving into a halftime with 1-0.
What a start from Clockwork Vendetta. I'll be the best is going to go down. A lot of that team fight control now is going to be disappearing. Engineer's turret falls. Mouse technically got one, but it was more like a half. Moose tries for the mystery hook up into the skies, try and find something, but Mouse currently controlling the fight from the back line. Engineer's going to go down, but now in a lot of trouble is Haddy. Moose was going to jump on him, but again, he was halted away, slowed up, so he couldn't actually engage on the Orisa.
Clockwork Vendetta moves towards a
Mouse!
point.
Oh, no. Moose has some sort of vendetta against Mouse at this point. There's no way he's not being checked at every corner. Engineer's going to find Obling, and they have to contest. You're right, Harry. They have to contest because they only need 33%. Engineer's going to fall, and now there's only 2 tanks on the point. They should be more than enough people from Shoes to actually clean this one up and feed a lot of ult charge in on through. I'll be the best comes back on the Tracer, though, and actually Mouse on the Soldier. Not on their preferred picks for this comp.
Indeed so, and with that Tracer lacking the Maywall here, the Halt and the Hook combination is going to be so effective for Clockwork Vendetta. There's going to be very few things that can stop the incoming damage for incoming picks. You're going to have to rely on Haddy being able to block that as he gets brought up, uses the Fortify in front of everyone. Everyone else is going to have to invest so much in avoiding these halts. We're going to have to give up so much positioning when it occurs. Openings lose a lot of health to start off here, but a lot of health is going to be lost with this Supercharger pumping out damage.
There's the Tire as well. Good pick onto Mouse to start off with. The Tire's going to come out. Can it find anybody? No, it cannot. Instantly, Ricky managed to hit shift, jumps into the Ice Cube, and he ends up saving himself. No need for your supports right now as Ricky's on the field. Gustav and Zaitor going to pop their Valkyrie to start off this engagement as well. Obling finds the Engineer once again. That random spam's a bit of a nightmare. Beautiful hook! What? That caught me off surprise as well. Huddy's going to get instantly deleted. Naga is going to use the barrage to actually take out 3 people from Choose Money Crew. But Moose is so good on this hog. Choose Money Crew, they're all over the place. They're going to have to get back to the point ASAP, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to make it. Clockwork Vendetta secure Paris and net themselves match point in the series.
Contact a Canadian, contact a Swede, contact someone who knows how to deal with this Moose. Because right now, he's absolutely just dominating this aerial duo. It's like, okay, Gustav, I know exactly where you're going to go. You're going to go over to that barraging Pharaoh I just killed, and you'll be like, what? Give me over here. Instantly dead. He's getting so much value, and his coordination with Mini-Me is sublime. These two are so in sync right now.
It's actually a little bit insane how good Moose is with Hog. Who'd have thought it from a guy that mains Hog in ranked? There we go. You can see some of the highlights already. That one shot as well. It's so frustrating when you get hooked too, because there are like small chances you get away even if you're like 200 HP.
Yeah, the body shot does less than 200 damage, so...
Most of the shrapnel has to land on your head at the end of the day. But Moose just so good. Like I said, just carrying that last fight. Obling's Tracer, and it's something that he talks to me a little bit about. It's like, I just want to play Tracer, man. I don't want to be in Brig Jail, but he's kind of wishing he could play Brig maybe on this map because he's getting checked as well. It's so hard for him to really do anything. Monk Martyr has been finding him on the Widowmaker of all picks as well. Normally the Tracer wins out that duel, but Monk Martyr, especially in these Clockwork comps, has a lot of support, not only from the Mercy, but from Mini-Me as well, who's so good with the Orisa.
And this is what you got to do, right? When you're up against this kind of composition, you're being out-competed on the DPS picks. Your initial reaction would usually be, well, we've got to go 3-3, right? We've got to go back to what we know. But Shoes Money Crew, this team doesn't know that right now. They're playing with 2 players they've never played 3-3 with before. They've got Haddy and they've got Naga. And Naga isn't really going to be the best either. He's no offense to him, but that's not really the primary option you have Naga for. He's a DPS player first and foremost. Look at that combination of the Halt and the Dragon Strike. You just can't beat Clockwork Vendetta at their own game because they're specialists. They know exactly how these heroes work. They have the hours that they've put in, and they are definitely bearing fruit from.
They put in the time, they put in the reps, they've done the hours, they've done the lifts, and this is what it turns into.
The gains.
Moose just hooking Mouse 10 times over. He can make a montage at this point of just him hooking Mouse. And this is what, well, this was Clockwork's map, right? Paris is defensively favored, especially on first. If you run something like Orisa Hog, it takes one pick-off from the attackers to try and snowball it into a point capture. The problem is, when you've got the Mercy, it's a little bit more easy. Plus, then you have the May for the defensive wall. You can either wall off the hooks that you receive or wall off the hooks that the enemy's trying to throw out as well and trying to fish for a pick in the end. And because you have Mini-Me slowly but surely, and we saw Shu do it as well, moving those shields up in these fights, there's just so much cover to actually deal with that the May becomes well, not a kind of a wall bot to wall people off, more of a offensive, and you can play it more of an offensive style.
Yeah, it's such an overwhelming playstyle that you can achieve right there. And choose Monaco, they're in dire straits right now. If they need a reverse sweep, if they're going to bring themselves up to that even scoreline of 2-2, if not, they're going down 1-3. And for a team that's been to playoffs so many times in Europe, that can't be a great place to be. They're going to have to be very, very vocal with their coach, almost pandering the halftime to try and get themselves back in this game.
Clockwork Vendetta staring across the room at Shoes Money Crew right now. They want to win this series to be 3-1 in the standings. And what a way to enter Contenders as well. Tussling with the best and making sure they die like the rest. We'll jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.